To get in before the night ended, a little recovery talk. Let's see, tonight's topic, who are you in name? Um, on page 60, the ABCs, the video I covered the other day, just kind of talking about one of the very first things you acknowledge in the ABCs is that you're alcoholic. And something I hadn't said yet that I think it's kind of obvious, but whenever I talk about recovery, you'll always hear me call or talk about the addictive mind. You'll never, sometimes the word will come out like addict, but if you ever hear that word from me, it's always about the addictive mind. Okay, I really prefer not to refer to people as an addict because that labels them with an identity. And I know for myself, I'm labeled by what my behavior was by my previous spouse. I'm also labeled a narcissist, and I'm also labeled selfish, which is probably true, and self-centered. And so I just wanted to, challenge you if you're in recovery and you're working steps and you go to a meeting and typically it's, hi, I'm Mark B. I'm a whatever addict, right? And I just want to really exhort you and challenge you about what that statement is. We typically identify ourselves by our behavior, but it's actually birth that determines our identity, not our behavior. But I want to challenge you on this idea. I'm actually going to tell you something that might kind of surprise you. But if you say you're an alcoholic, I'm going to tell you that you're proud when you say that. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Since you're a 12-stepper, what's the root of your trouble? Page 62. Selfishness and self-centeredness. Wouldn't you agree? That's the root? Okay. So then why are you calling you by your behavior? Why aren't you saying, hi, I'm Mark Baker, I'm a narcissist? Why aren't you saying, I'm Mark Baker, I'm a liar? I'm Mark Baker, I'm a deceiver? Why not? Isn't that the root of your troubles? Isn't that who you really are? According to how you're trying to define yourself, right? So see, I'm just getting to the point. See, we label ourselves, and we can never walk into the belief of the gospel if we're going to sit there and say, I'm still in Adam, I'm still in sin, I'm still in my sins, I'm sitting in my pile of poo, I'm that unlovely creature, and that's who I am. Well, if that's where you're just going to stay in the trash can. But what makes you a child of God? What goes you from that worm crawling around in the dirt? What transforms you into that butterfly where you live above all of that filth? What takes you to that spot? And that's where we get to the gospel. So I want to take us tonight to two verses. We're going to go to Romans, Romans chapter 6. Romans chapter 6. I just want to identify a couple things with you. Romans 6:17. No, it's actually, I'm sorry, not Romans 6. It's chapter 7. We're in 7. We're in that, oh my gosh, I've lived in chapter 7. So yeah, Romans 7, sorry about that. And we're in verse 17. He says, in verse 17, he says, so now no longer am I the one doing it, but sin which indwells me. Now, I believe this is Paul in the state before he was in Christ. And here he's saying that he's not the one doing it, but sin that indwells him. So he's making a distinction. See, he's not seeing himself as that. He's seeing sin as a noun personified that has a power. And it's that sin that's doing it. It's not him. Okay? That's an important distinction. And then just something else to see as well. Because a 12-stepper would say, when they get to step 1, they'd say, oh, I'm powerless. I'm powerless over this alcohol. They may not get to, I'm recognizing for the first time in my life I'm nothing, and without him I'm lost. They may not believe that, which is what Bill believed, but they will say I'm powerless over this addictive behavior. But here's the thing that they won't say. Verse 18, for I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is in my flesh. And that's just that part where I think real recovery is when you're like, nothing good dwells in me that is in my flesh, i.e., I am without any power. I have no method. I have no way out of this. So just some thoughts there from that verse on the topic here of who are you? Who are you in your name? What are you really calling yourself? So I just want to encourage you. You're not that caterpillar crawling around in the dirt if you're in Christ. You've been born from above, and you now are that butterfly. And now it's the discovery of who you are in Christ. What is true for you now in Christ? What is the nature now in that heart that wholeheartedly is good now with God in your heart and your spirit? It's wholeheartedly there. So here's the other verse, 2 Corinthians 5:16 and 17. 2 Corinthians 5:16 and 17. And give me just a second. I think I want to go to another verse. See if I can find this real quick. Yeah, I'm going to read to you Jeremiah 24:7. Jeremiah 24:7. This is actually a prophecy of what would happen in the new. Listen to this. He says, and I will give them a heart to know me, for I am the Lord, and they will be my people, and I will be their God, for they will return to me with their whole heart. See that? Oh, that's good. Let's see. Another one that just came to my mind was Ezekiel. Ezekiel 36. Listen to this one. Ezekiel 36, 26 and 27. He says, moreover, again, prophesying about the new covenant, moreover, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you, and I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will be careful to observe my ordinances. Okay? Guys, that's what's happened internally. So the last thing about, again, who are you in your name? You're not, your addiction. You're not that title. If you're going to name yourself, then go to the core. If that's what you really think, you're selfish and self-centered, and that's the root of your troubles, and change your name to that. Okay? If you're going to be honest, if you're going to be rigorous honest, do that. Okay? Otherwise, you're just fluffing yourself, and you're going to keep, all throughout the day. It's just the example I was using the other day about, you're just setting your phone down all day, setting the addiction down, setting the addiction down, setting the addiction. You're always setting the addiction down, and then you're always like, I'm an alcoholic. 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 And just, oh my gosh. No wonder. No wonder. Hey, this is what, if you were an alcoholic, what's the most natural thing you could do? It would be to drink, right? If that's your nature, then you should go drink. If you're a drug addict, what's the most thing to do? It would be that, right? If I'm Yoda, and I really think I'm Yoda, then maybe you're like, you must unlearn what you have learned. Now that sounded like Yoda, I hope. But guess what? I'm not Yoda. You guys know I'm not Yoda. I'm Mark Baker, right? So I might sound like Yoda, but that's just an impersonation. But that's not who I really am. I'm really Mark Baker. So here, let's get to the passage. It was 2 Corinthians 5, verses 16 and 17. There's a little nugget here. You guys, we all know 2 Corinthians 5:17. But let's do the other one. 2 Corinthians 5:16. Okay? Here we go. He says, therefore, from now on, we recognize no man according to the flesh. Even though we have known Christ according to the flesh, yet we know him no longer. It's just that idea, we're not to recognize any man according to the flesh. Even in any of these recovery talks, you haven't heard me talk about what my behavior was. You know why? Why would I want to give anyone an opportunity to judge me, right? That's one reason. And then another reason, guess what? That's not who I am. It's not who I am. I'm a child of God. Yeah, I'm a child of God that has struggled with some addictive minds, some addictive behavior. And why did I do that? Because I didn't really know who I was. But once I began to understand who I was, that I wasn't that worm crawling around in the dirt, guess what, guys? I stopped walking around in the dirt. Now I fly above all that stuff. can I sometimes land on some poo? Yeah. Does that mean that I've lost my, have I gotten into something where it's like, oh, I just lost my sobriety? Nope, haven't gone down that road at all. Don't have a desire, haven't touched anything, haven't, do not handle, do not taste, do not touch, haven't done any of that stuff. But it's not an issue because I'm focusing on who I am. So then here's the second part. He says, therefore, if any man is in Christ, you are a new creation. The old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Behold, all things have become new. That old of who you were in Adam has been cut away. Behold, all things are new. Everything in your heart and your spirit is new. You actually also have the mind of Christ. If you look in Hebrews 8, it's Hebrews 8:10, when it talks about you're going to get a new heart and a new spirit, it actually says that he writes his laws to believe and to love on your heart. And it'll say it this way. It's something like, he writes them on your heart. So they're like there. I mean, internally, boom, you have the software. But it's etched on your mind. And the idea there is it's put on your mind. So it's there. It still has to be like grabbed and like walked in. This is why we're renewing our mind. But the idea is there. Your mind is, you're ready. You're ready to go. But we do have to walk in the Spirit and be renewed for those ruts that are going through the head from all the addictive behavior, from all that selfishness and self-centeredness, right? That narcissistic type mentality. A therapist would say you're a narcissistic person in your behaviors because you're just so broken in your pain that you're going to that fix. And now it's all about you. I mean, everything is about you. The whole world revolves around you. Everybody is coming into my life. I need anyone and everything to fill in my void because, see, I can't find that in Christ as my source. So I'm just consuming. So, who are you in name? Find out who that is. And when you find out who that is, man, you're going to find a power in you that is a person. His name is Jesus. All right? So don't hold on to that stuff anymore. Don't label yourself. Free yourself from that. Now relabel yourself because you are something new. You're a child of God. All right? You're a saint. You're a literal saint. You're 100% righteous, holy. You're without spot, blame, wrinkle. You're free of all accusation. You're under no condemnation, Romans 8:1 says. So, hey, if this is ministered to you, you keep following these talks and keep coming back to the Freedom in Christ movement. So many great teachers. Just let it pour over you. All right? Okay. Have a good night.